Samsara dava nalaliha loka Tranaya karunya ganaganadvam Praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasura Sena Romancha Kampa Sutaranga Baho Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Shri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Shringara Tan Mandira Majanaro Yuktasya Bhaktam Chani Unjatopi Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangan Kudvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Shri Radhika Madhavayora Pada Madhurya Lila Guna Rupa Namnam Pratishana Svadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Nikunjayuno Ratikeli Sidhai Yayali Bir Yuktira Pekshaniya Tatrati Daksha Rativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Shakshadarit Vena Samasta Shastre Uktastatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbihi Kintu Prabhuya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadan Nagati Kutopi Dhyayan Stuvam Stasya Yasastri Sanyam Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam samsara dava nalalita loka Tranaya karunya gana ganadvam Praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachadeshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One more time, then we'll give it to him in Namudas.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
नाम नामामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् नामामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियोलोकलाधवमानं परं दृष्टम् अत्यन्ततो द्रुतगोप्या यशोदाभियोलोकलाधवमानं परं दृष्टम् अत्यन्ततो द्रुतगोप्या रुदन्तमुहुर्नेत्रं युग्ममृजान्तं करं भुजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रम् रुदन्तमुहुर्नेत्रयुग्ममृजान्तं करं भुजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्ककन्था स्फीता गैवदामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्ककन्था स्फीता गैवदामोदरं इति द्विक्षलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् इति द्विक्षलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तर्जितात्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्ति वन्दे तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तर्जितात्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्ति वरं देवा मोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं विनेहं वरे सादपीहा वरं देवा मोक्षा न मोक्षावति वा न चान्यं विनेहं वरे सादपीहा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्य वीरस्तं किमन्ये इदं देवपूर्णाथा बालबालं सदा मे इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुण्ठलस्निग्धरक्तश्च गोप्या इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मानस्य वीरस्तं आलं लक्ष्यलभ्ये मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मानस्य वीरस्तं नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुख जलाब्धिमग्नम् नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुख जलाब्धिमग्नम् नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् नमो देव दामोदर प्रभो कृपादृष्टिविष्याति दिनं बतानु गृहाणे क्षमामज्ञं दक्षिदिक्ष्य कृपादृष्टिविष्याति दिनं बतानु गृहाणे क्षमामज्ञं दक्षिदिक्ष्य कुबेरात्मजौ बाध मृत्याैव याद्वा त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च कुबेरात्मजौ बाध मृत्याैव याद्वा त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयश्च न मोक्षिग्राहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह सा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयश्च नमस्कृग्राहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्वदाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं वसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं वसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले यदुनानं यशोदाभियो लोकलादवमानं परां दृष्टाम् अत्यन्ततो दुतगोप्या यशोदाभियो लोकलादवमानं परां दृष्टाम् अत्यन्ततो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर श्री राधे जय राधा दामोदर दामोदर राधा दामोदर श्री राधे जय यशोदा मैया 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 यशोदा मैया यशोदा मैया यशोदा मैया जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय निताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिता जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन चक्र जय जगन्नाथ जय जगदेवा जय जय सुदर्शन चक्र जय राधा नीलमाधव राधा नीलमाधव राधा नीलमाधव श्री राधे जय नीलमाधव राधा नीलमाधव राधा नीलमाधव श्री राधे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय जय लक्ष्मी नारायण जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
Jai Om Shnupada Brahmamsa Pajaka Acharya Ashtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Apar Chanavrinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Tirobhava Mahosava Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Tirobhava Mahosava Ki Jai Jai Om Shnupada Brahmamsa Pajaka Acharya Ashtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Premise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Purushottama Chaitra Jagannath Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Samarita Bhaktivinda Ki Jai, Shri Damdara Masa Kartika Masa Ki Jai, Shri Yashoda Damdara Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Damadara Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari. All glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glory to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Lad Daine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha शिलतंका न खालाए इतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहो बहिर्नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे O Keshavadrita Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. श्री श्री भक्त नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
Her who runs faster than he, to that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar I offer my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful, and his quick breathing shook the strand of the pearls on his neck, which bore 3 lions like on the conch shell. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound by with ropes of mothers of pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. With these super excellent childhood pastimes, Lord Krishna drowned the residents of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. In this way, he declared to those absorbed in knowledge of his majesty and opulence, I am conquered only by my pure loving devotees. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, though you can award all kinds of benedictions, I pray to you neither for the boon of impersonal liberation nor for the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor for any other such boon. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours, as Balagopala in Vrindavan, may ever be manifest in my heart. For what use do I have for any other boon besides this? O Lord, again and again Mother Yashoda kisses your lotus face, which is framed by locks of soft but in red and beautified by lips colored like red bimba fruit. May this vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions of no use to me.
Special obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. Shower me with your merciful glances and deliver this poor ignorant fool immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodara, as a baby tied to a grinding mortar, you delivered Kuvera's 2 sons from the curse of Narada and made them into great devotees. In the same way, please give me pure loving devotion for you. I long for this alone and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodara, obeisances unto the brilliantly effulgent robe binding your belly. Obeisances unto your belly, the abode of the entire universe. Obeisances unto your dear most beloved Srimati Radharani. And obeisances unto you, O Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Priyasi Namo Namaha Radha Krishna Seva Pavo E Abhilashi Radha Krishna Seva Pavo E Abhilashi যে তোমার শরণালয় তারা বাঞ্ছা পূর্ণ হয় কৃপা করি করো তারে বৃন্দাবনবাসী মোরায়ে অভিলাষ বিলাস কুঞ্জে দিয়বাস নায়নে হেরিব সারা युगल रूपरासी निवेधाना धारो Sakiranu gatha khoro Seva adhikara diye koro nijadasi Dina Krishna dasi koye namora hoy Shri Radha Govinda preme sadai navasi Shri Radha Govinda preme sadai navasi Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadi kani cha tani tani pranakshante pradikshanam pare pare Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadi kani cha tani tani pranakshante pradikshanam pare pare Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadi kani cha tani tani pranakshante pradikshanam pare pare Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadi kani cha tani tani pranakshante pradikshanam pare pare Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadi kani cha tani tani pranakshante pradikshanam pare pare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Tusi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Vrindayai Tulsi Devi Ai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pratadevi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsi Devi Ai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pratadevi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsi Devi Ai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pratadevi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Srimati Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai.
O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow down before you again. My desire is the service of Sri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter from the wish of the is your mercy upon me, making me resident of Vrindavan. My desire is also grant me residence in the precious coast of Shiva and Dhaman. Thus, within my vision, shall behold the beautiful pastimes Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow a Kara dancer virgin. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna praise. May I always swim in the love Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. There are 10 fences in my to chant holy name should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees or dedicate life for propagating holy name the Lord. 2. To consider the name the demigods allow Shiva or Brahma to be equal and independent in the name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider glorious chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activity and the strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Vedas as fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after standing so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Pavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chantrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pradipadam Purunarmita Sadanam Sarvatamasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namagari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Iha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunijena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jammanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Toyi Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishamhe Bhavam Puto Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Duri Satesham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashuru Daraya Vadanam Gadgada Rudaya Gira Pulakai Nichitam Mapurukada Tavanama Krahane Bhavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha prarisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name ashri shava padaratam pinnashtumam Adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vitatatu lampato matprana nathastu se eva na paraha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life or repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is a benediction for humanity in the large because it spreads the rays and benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases ocean transcendent bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction human beings. Thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, our kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy names, but I'm so unfortunate and I have no attraction for them. One should chant holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sanhamarjananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow I fell into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of Adam to your lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes bedeck with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up, when hairs my body stand and end at the recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering the moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna, my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charnam prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Umritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachate Desha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Prematya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Darine Rupa Nuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Saksha Vairagya Murtaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patidanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Shin Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surator Pangor Mama Manda Mater Kati Masarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Dvindadana Kalpaju Mada Shimad Ranagara Singhasanasto Shimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamshiva Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishvari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangalacharna prayers ki jai Shri Paramasamhita ki jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiraja Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasu Kalpaviksha Lakshaviteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venu Kvanantamaravinda Dalaya Daksham Parharvatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chantakala Savana Madhavamshi Ranangadam Panayakeri Kalavilasam Shamam Tipanga Laritam Niyata Prakasham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Angani Yasya Sakalindriya Vritti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Chakanti Ananda Chimmaya Satujala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Madurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Munipangavaanam Sopyasti Yaprapada Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sorachayitum Jagadanta Kotim Ya Chakti Rasti Jagadanta Chaya Yadantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavitatiyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Bhushaha Suktaryam Eva Nigama Patitaistu Vanti Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chimma Rasa Patibhavitapis Tapya Eva Jarupataya Kalapihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Kilatma Bhutto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churutha Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sataiva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Amena Tishtan Nanavatara Makaro Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Parama Pumamyo Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has the eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in a boat built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes. Like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, around whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with a moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in the pastimes of love, whose graceful three-foot bending form of Sham Sundar is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and his thirst full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure, unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him and is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra shuktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I adore the same Govinda. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidants, Sakhis, embodiments of the extension of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyamasundara Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portions.
Sri Brahma Samhita ki jai.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 Purport. Srinvatam swakata Krishna punyasravana kirtanaha hridayanta hiso hi abhadrani vidunoti suhrutsatam nashtaprayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha dayaschaye cheta eter anavedam stitam satve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायति विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथे छिद्यन्ते सर्व समस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे.
To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamshayam Samagrama, understanding of the Supreme, Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 38. Iti murti abhidhanena mantramurtim amurtikam yajate yajna purusham sa samya darshanam puman Iti, thus, Murti, representation, Abhidhanena, in sound, Mantra Murtim, form representation of transcendental sound, Amurtikam, the Lord who has no material form, Yajate, worship, Yajna, Vishnu, Purusham, the personality of Godhead, Saha, he alone, Samyak, perfectly, Darshana, one who has seen, Puman, person. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, he is the actual seer who worships in the form of transcendental sound representation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, who has no material form. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Our present senses are all made of material elements, and therefore they are imperfect in realizing the transcendental form of Lord Vishnu. He is therefore worshipped by sound representation via the transcendental method of chanting. Anything which is beyond the scope of experience by our imperfect senses can be realized fully by the sound representation. A person transmitting sound from a far distant place can be factually experienced. If this is materially possible, why not spiritually? This experience is not a vague impersonal experience. It is actually an experience of the transcendental personality of Godhead, who possesses the pure form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. In the Amarakosha Sanskrit dictionary, the word Murti carries import in twofold meanings, namely form and difficulty. Therefore, Amurtikam is explained by Acharya Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura as meaning without difficulty. The transcendental form of eternal bliss and knowledge can be experienced by our original spiritual senses, which can be revived by chanting of the holy mantras or transcendental sound representations. Such sound should be received from the transparent agency of the bona fide spiritual master, and the chanting may be practiced by the direction of the spiritual master. That will gradually lead us nearer to the Lord. This method of worship is recommended in the Panchara Trika system, which is both recognized and authorized. The Pancharatrika system has the most authorized codes for transcendental devotional service. Without the help of such codes, one cannot approach the Lord. Certainly not by dry philosophical speculation. The Pancharatrika system is both practical and suitable for this age of quarrel. The Pancharatra is more important than the Vedanta for this modern age.
Srimad Bhagavatam, text 39 of chapter 1, canto 1, chapter 5. Imam swanigamam brahman avetya madanushtitam adanme jnanam aishwaryam swashmin bhavam cha keshava. Imam, thus, swanigamam, confidential knowledge of the Vedas in respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahman, O Brahmana, Vyasadeva. Avetya, knowing it well. Mat, by me. Anushtitam, executed. Adat, bestowed upon me. Me, Jnanam, transcendental knowledge. Aishwaryam, opulence. Swashmin, personal. Bhavam, intimate affection and love. Cha, and Keshava, Lord Krishna. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna, I was endowed first with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord as inculcated in the confidential parts of the Vedas, then with the spiritual opulences, and then with his intimate loving service. Purport. Communion with the Lord by transmission of the transcendental sound is non-different from the whole spirit, Lord Sri Krishna. It is a completely perfect method for approaching the Lord. By such pure contact with the Lord, without offense of material conceptions, numbering 10, the devotee can rise above the material plane to understand the inner meaning of the Vedic literatures, including the Lord's existence in the transcendental realm. The Lord reveals his identity gradually to one who has unflinching faith, both in the spiritual master and in the Lord. After this, the devotee is endowed with mystic opulences, which are 8 in number. And above all, the devotee is accepted in the confidential entourage of the Lord and is entrusted with specific service of the Lord through the agency of the spiritual master. A pure devotee is more interested in serving the Lord than in showing an exhibition of the mystic powers dormant in him. Sri Narada has explained all these from his personal experience, and one can obtain all the facilities which Sri Narada obtained by perfecting the chanting process of the sound representation of the Lord. There is no bar for chanting this transcendental sound by anyone, provided it is received through Narada's representative, coming down by the chain of disciplic succession or the parampara system.
Text 40, chapter, Canto 1, chapter 5. Tvam api adabra sruta vishrutam vibhoho samapyate yena vidam bhuvitisham prakahi tukayar muhur adi tata manam sanklesha nirvanam usanti nanyata.
Tvam, your good soul, Api also. Adabra, vast. Shruta, Vedic literature. Vishrutam, have heard also. Vibho, of the Almighty. Samapyate, satisfied. Ena, by which. Vidam, of the learned. Pubu Chitam, who always desire to learn transcendental knowledge. Prakyahi, describe. Dukkai, by miseries. Muhu, always. Ardhita Atmanam, suffering mass of people. Sanklesha, sufferings. Nirvanam, mitigation. Usantina, to not get out of. Anyata, by other means.
Translation. Please therefore describe the Almighty Lord's activities, which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas, for that will satisfy the hankerings of great learned men, and at the same time mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people who are always suffering from material pangs. Indeed, there is no other way to get out of such miseries. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Narada Muni, from practical experience, definitely asserts that the prime solution of all problems of work and of material work is to broadcast very widely the transcendental glories of the Supreme Lord. There are 4 classes of good men, and there are 4 classes of bad men also. The 4 classes of good men acknowledge the authority of the Almighty God, and therefore such good men, number 1, when they are in difficulty, number 2, when they are in need of money, number 3, when they are advanced in knowledge and advanced in knowledge, and number 4, when they're inquisitive to know more and more about God, intuitively take shelter of the Lord. As such, Naradaji advises Vyasadeva to broadcast the transcendental knowledge of God in terms of the vast Vedic knowledge which he had already attained. As far as the bad men are concerned, there are 4 in number. There are also 4 in number. Number 1, those who are simply addicted to the mode of progressive freedom of work and thus are subjected to the accompanying miseries. Number 2, those who are simply addicted to vicious work for sense satisfaction and so suffer the consequence. Number 3, those who are materially very much advanced in knowledge, but who suffer because they do not have the sense to acknowledge the authority of the Almighty Lord. And number 4, the class of men who are known as atheists and who are therefore purposely hate the very name of God. although they are always in difficulty. Sri Naradaji advised Vyasadeva to describe the glories of the Lord, just to do good to all 8 classes of men, both good and bad. Srimad Bhagavatam is therefore not meant for any particular class of men or sect. It is for the sincere soul who actually wants his own welfare and peace of mind. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Narada's Instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva. Chapter 6, Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. We are starting chapter 6, devotees.
Text 1. Suta Vacha. Evam samya bhagavan devarshe janma karma cha bhuya paprachatam brahman vyasa satyavati suta. Suta Vacha. Suta said, Evam thus, Nisamya, hearing, Bhagavan, the powerful incarnation of God, Devarshe, of the great sage among the gods, Janma, birth, Karma, work, Cha, and Bhuya, again, Papracha asked Tam, him, Brahman, O Brahmanas, Vyasa, Vyasadeva, Satyavati Suta, the son of Satyavati. Translation. Suta said, O Brahmanas, thus hearing all about Sri Narada's birth and activities, Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God and son of Satyavati, inquired as follows. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vyasadeva was further inquisitive to know about the perfection of Naradaji, and therefore he wanted to know about him more and more. In this chapter, Naradaji will describe how he was able to have a brief audience with the Lord while he was absorbed in the transcendental thought of separation from the Lord, and when it was very painful for him.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 2. Vyasa Uvacha Bhikshubir Vipravasite Vijnanadesprit Vistava Vartamano Vyavasi Adhe Tata Kim Akarod Bhavan Vyasa Uvacha. Sri Vyasadeva said, Bhikshubhihi, by the great mendicants, Vipravisate, having departed for other places, Vijnana, scientific knowledge in transcendence, Adestribihi, those who had instructed, Tava, of your Vartamanaha, present, Vayasi, of the duration of life, Adhye, before the beginning of, Tatha, after that, Kim, what, Akarot, did, Bhavan, your good self. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Vyasadeva said, what did you, Narada, do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you in scientific transcendental knowledge before the beginning of your present birth? Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vyasadeva himself was a disciple of Naradaji, and therefore it was natural to be anxious to hear what Narada did after initiation from the spiritual masters. He wanted to follow in Narada's footsteps in order to attain to the same perfect stage of life. This desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to the progressive path. This process is technically known as Saddharma Pracha.
Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 3. Swayam bhava kaya vritya vartitam te param vaya kartam chedam udarakshi kale prapte kalevaram. Swayam bhuva, O son of Brahma, kaya, under what condition, vritya, occupation, vartitam, was spent, te, you, param, after the initiation, vaya, duration of life, katham, how, cha, and idam, this, udastrakshi, did you quit, kale, in due course, prapte, having attained, kalevaram, body. O son of Brahma, how did you pass your life after initiation, and how did you attain this body, having quit your old one in due course? Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Narada Muni in his previous life was just an ordinary maidservant son. So, how he became so perfectly transformed into the spiritual body of eternal life, bliss, and knowledge is it's certainly important. Sri Vyasadeva desired him to disclose the facts for everyone's satisfaction.
Text 4. Prakalpa etam smritam te muni satama nahi esha vyavadat kala esha sarva nirakriti. Prak, prayer. Kalpa, the duration of Brahma's day. Vishayam, subject matter. Etam, all these. Mritam, remembrance. Te, your. Muni, satamma, O great sage. Na, not. He, certainly. Esha, all these. Vyavad, vyavadat, vadat, vyavadat. Any difference. Kala, any difference. Made any difference. Kala, kala, course of time. Esha, all these. Sarva, all. Nirakriti, annihilation. Translation. O great sage, time annihilates everything in due course. So how is it that this subject matter which happened prior to this day of Brahmas is still fresh in your memory, undisturbed by time? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As spirit is not annihilated even after the annihilation for the material body, so also spiritual consciousness is not annihilated. Sri Narada developed this spiritual consciousness even when he had his material body in the previous kalpa. Consciousness of the material body means spiritual consciousness expressed through the medium of a material body. This consciousness is inferior, destructible, and perverted. But superconsciousness of the supramind in the spiritual plane is as good as the spirit and is never annihilated. Text 5, Canto 1, Chapter 6.
Narada Uvacha Bhikshubhirvipravasite Vijnanadishtrabhirmama Vardhamano Vayasidhyaye Tada Etad Akarasam. Narada Uvacha, Sri Narada said, Bhikshubhi, by the great sages, Vipravasite, having departed for other places, Vijnana, scientific spiritual knowledge, Adeshtrabi, those who imparted unto me, Mama, mine, Vardhamana, present, Vayasi Adye, before this life, Tada, thereafter, Etad, this much, Akarasam, performed. Translation.
Sri Narada said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me departed for other places, and I had to pass my life in this way.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In his previous life, when Naradaji was impregnated with spiritual knowledge by the grace of the great sages, there was a tangible change in his life. Although he was only a boy of 5 years, that is an important symptom visible after initiation by the bona fide spiritual master. Actual association of devotees brings about a quick change in life for spiritual realization. How it so acted upon the previous life of Sri Narada Muni is described by and by in this chapter.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 6. Ekatmaja me janani yosin mudha cha kinkari mai atmaje nanya gatau chakre snehanu bandhanam. Eka atmaja, having only one son, me, my janani, mother, yoshit, woman by class, muda, foolish, cha, and kinkari, maid servant, mai unto me, atmaje, being her offspring, Ananya Gatau, one who has no alternative for protection. Chakre did it. Sneha Abu Anubandhanam, tied by affectionate bondage. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I was the only son of my mother, who was not only a simple woman but a maid servant as well. Since I was her only offspring, she had no other alternative for protection. She bound me with the tie of affection.
Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 7. Sashvantantra na kalpashid yoga shemam mechati ishasya hi vashe loko yosha darumahi yatha she asvantantra was dependent no asit was yoga shemam maintenance mama my ichati although desirous Ishasya of providence, he, for, Bashe, under the control of, Loka, everyone, Yosha, doll, Darumahi, made of wood, Yatha, as much as. Translation. She wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of her puppet master.
Text 8, Canto 1, Chapter 6. Aham cha tad brahma kule ushivams tad upakshaye digdesha kalavya tupano balaka pancha Hayana.
Aham I cha also tat that Brahmakule in the school of the Brahmanas, who Sivan lived, tat her, Upekshaya, being dependent on, Digdesha, direction and country, Kala, time, Avyutpanaha, having no experience, Balaka, a mere child, Pancha, 5, Hayanaha, years old.
Translation. When I was a mere child of 5 years, I lived in a Brahmana school. I was dependent on my mother's affection and had no experience of different lands.
Text 9. Ekada nirgatam gehad duhantim nisigampati sarpodasatpada sprusta Krupanam Kala Chodita. Ekada, once upon a time. Nirgatam, having gone away. Gehat, from home. Duhantim, for milking. Nishi, at night. Gam, the cow. Pati, on the path. Sarpa, snake. Adasat, bitten. Pada, on the leg. Sprusta, thus struck. Krupanam, the poor woman. Kala Choditaha, influenced by supreme time.
Once upon a time, my pure mother, when going out one night to milk a cows, was bitten on the leg by the serpent. It fulfilled and faced by the supreme time.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. That is a way of dragging a sincere soul nearer to God. The poor boy was being looked after only by his affectionate mother, and yet the mother was taken from the world by the supreme will in order to put him completely at the mercy of the Lord.
Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 10. Tada tad aham ishasya bhaktanam sam abhipshataha anugraham manyamana pratishtam tisham uttaram. Tada, at that time, tad, that, aham, I, ishasya, of the Lord, bhaktanam, of the devotees, sam, mercy, abhipsataha, desiring, anugraham, special benediction, manyamana, thinking in that way, pratishtam, departed, disham uttaram, in the northern direction. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I took this as a special mercy of the Lord, who always desires benediction for his devotees, and so thinking, I started for the north. Confidential devotees of the Lord see in every step a benedictory direction of the Lord. What is considered to be an odd or difficult moment in the mundane sense is accepted as special mercy of the Lord. Mundane prosperity is a kind of material fever, and by the grace of the Lord, the temperature of this material fever is gradually diminished, and spiritual health is obtained step by step. Mundane people misunderstand it.
Text 11, Canto 1, Chapter 6. Spītāņjanapadāṃ tatra puragramma vraja karan keta karvatavatischa vananya upavanani cha.
Spitan, very flourishing. Janapada, Padan, metropolises. Tatra, there. Pura, towns. Grama, villages. Vraja, big farms. Akaran, mineral fields, mines. Keta, agricultural lands. Karvata, valleys. Vati, flower gardens. Cha and Vanani, forest. Upavanani, nursery gardens. Cha and
Translation. After my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Man's activities in agriculture, mining, farming, industries, gardening, etc. were all on the same scale as they are now. Even in previous to the present creation, and the same activities will remain as they are, even in the next creation. After many hundreds of millions of years, one creation is started by the law of nature, and the history of the universe repeats itself practically in the same way. The mundane wranglers waste time with archaeological excavations without searching into the vital necessities of life. After getting an impetus in spiritual life, Sri Narada Muni, even though a mere child, did not waste time for a single moment with economic development. Although he passed towns and villages, mines and industries, he continually went went to progressive spiritual emancipation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the repetition of herein only the Srimad Bhagavatam is the repetition of history which happened some hundreds of million years ago. As it is said herein, only the most important factors of history are picked up to be recorded in this transcendental literature.
Text 12. Chitradatu vichadradirin iba banga bujadruman jalasayan chivajalan nalini surasevita chitrasvanai patraratair vibramad brahmanashriya. Chitradhatu, valuable minerals like gold, silver, and copper. Vichitra, full of variegatedness. Adreen, hills and mountains. Ibabanga, broken by the giant elephants. Bhuja, branches. Druman, trees. Jalashayan, Shiva, health giving. Jalan, reservoirs of water. Nalini, lotus flowers. Surasevita, aspired to be to by the denizens of heaven. Chitra Swanai, pleasing to the heart. Patra Radai, by the birds. Vibramat, bewildering. Brahmarashriya, decorated by drones. Here, translation.
I passed through hills and mountains full of reservoirs of minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and through tracts and land with rivers, with reservoirs of water filled with beautiful lotus flowers fit for the denizens of having decorated with bullocks, bewildered bees, and singing birds.
Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 13. Nalavenu Sharasthanba Kusha Kichaka Grahavaram Eka Evatiatoham Adraksham Vipinam Mahad Goram Pratibhayakaram Vyalolika Shivajiram. Nala, pipes. Venu, bamboo. Shara, pens. Tanba, full of. Kusha, sharp grass. Kichaka, weeds. Gahavaram, caves. Eka, alone. Eva, only. Atyata, difficult to go through. Aham, I. Adraksham, visited. Vipinam, deep forest. Mahat, great. Goram, fearful. Pratibhaya akaram, dangerously. Vyala, snakes. Ultika, owls. Shiva, jackals. Ajram, playgrounds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forest, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. It is the duty of a mendicant, Parijavaktacharya, Parijav, Parivrajakaacharya, to experience all varieties of God's creation by traveling alone through all forests, hills, towns, villages, etc., to gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. A sannyasi is duty bound to take all these risks without fear, and the most typical sannyasi of the present age is Lord Chaitanya, who traveled in the same manner through the central Indian jungles, enlightening even the tigers, bears, snakes, deer, elephants, and many other jungle animals. In this age of Kali, sannyasa is forbidden for ordinary men. One who changes his dress to make propaganda is a different man from the original ideal sannyasi. One should, however, take the vow to stop social intercourse completely and devote and devote life exclusively to the service of the Lord. The change of dress is only a formality. Lord Chaitanya did not accept the name of a sannyasi, and in this age of Kali, the so called sannyasis should not change their former names, following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, devotional service of hearing and repeating the holy glories of the Lord is strongly recommended, and one who takes the vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Parivrajacharya like Narada or Lord Chaitanya. But many sit down at some holy place and devote his whole time and energy to hear and repeatedly chant the holy scriptures left by the great acharyas like the six Goswamis of Vrindavana.
Text 14. Parishrantindriyatmaha tritaparito bubukshitaha snatva pitva hridevadya upasprusto gatashramaha. Parishranta, being tired, indriya, bodily, atma, mentally, aham, I. Trit, parita, being thirsty, bubukshita, and hungry, snatva, taking a bath, pitva, and drinking water also, hriday, in the lake, hrade, in the lake, nadya, of a river, nadya, of a river, upasprasta, being in contact with, gata, got relief from, shrama, tiredness. Translation.
Thus, traveling,
Traveling,
felt
tired,
tired, bodily, and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry, so I took a bath in a river, lake, and also drink water by contacting water. I got relief from my examples.
exhaustion.
Exaction.
Okay.
Purpose Bajrabhawad ki jai.
A traveling mendicant can meet the needs of the body, namely thirst and hunger, by the gifts of nature without being a beggar at the doors of the householders. The mendicant, therefore, does not go to the house of a householder to beg out to enlighten him spiritually.
1.6.15 Tasmin nirmanuje ranya vipalopashtav ashritaha atmanatmanam atmastam yatha shrutam achintayam. Tasmin, in that, nirmanuje, without human habitation, aranye, in the forest, pipala, banyan tree, upaste, sitting under it, ashritaha, taking shelter of, atmana, by intelligence, atmanam, the supersoul, atmastam, situated within myself, yathashrutam, as I had heard it from the liberated souls, achintayam, thought over. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After that, under the shadow of a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within, using my intelligence as I had learned from liberated souls. Purport. One should not meditate according to one's personal whims. One should know perfectly well from the authoritative sources of scriptures through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master and by proper use of one's trained intelligence for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. This consciousness is firmly developed by a devotee who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. Sri Narada ji contacted bona fide spiritual masters, served them sincerely, and got enlightenment rightly. Thus he began to meditate.
Text 16. Canto 1, Chapter 6. Dhyayatascharanambojam bhava nirijita chetasa autantyasu shru kalakshaya alakhalakshasya Siddhi asin me sanar hari.
Dhyayata, thus meditating upon Charanambojam, the lotus feet of the localized personality of Godhead. Bhava Nirjita, mind transformed in transcendental love for the Lord. Chetasa, all mental activities, thinking, feeling, and willing. Autkantya, eagerness. Ashrukala, tears rolled down. Akshasya, of the eyes. Hrudi, within my heart. Asit, appeared. Me, may, my. Sanai, without delay. Hari, the personality of Godhead.
Translation. As soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, with my mind transformed in transcendental love, without delay, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, appeared on the lotus of my heart. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word bhava is significant here. This bhava stage is attained after one has transcendental affection for the Lord. The first initial stage is called Shraddha, or a liking for the Supreme Lord. And in order to increase that liking, one has to associate with pure devotees of the Lord. The third stage is to practice the described rules and regulations of devotional service. This will dissipate all sorts of misgivings and remove all personal deficiencies that hamper progress in devotional service. When all misgivings or personal deficiencies are removed, there is a standard faith in transcendental matter, and the taste for it increases in greater proportion. This stage leads to attraction, and after this there is bhava, or the pure stage of unalloyed love for God. All the above different stages are but different stages of development of transcendental love. Being so surcharged with transcendental love, there comes a strong feeling of separation which leads to 8 different kinds of ecstasies. Tears from the eyes of a devotee is an automatic reaction. And because Sri Narada Muni in his previous birth attained that stage very quickly after his departure from home, it was quite possible for him to perceive the actual presence of the Lord, which he tangibly experienced by his developed spiritual senses without material tinge.
Text 17. Prema tibara nirbinna pulakango tinivrata ananda samplave lino napashyam ubayam mune. Prema, Love, Atibara, excessive, Nirbhinna, especially distinguished, Pulaka, feelings of happiness, Anga, different bodily parts, Ati Nirvrita, being fully overwhelmed, Ananda, ecstasy, Samplave, in the ocean of, Leena, absorbed in, no, not, Apasyam, could see, Ubayam, both, Mune, O Vasudeva. Translation. O Vasudeva.
Oh, Vasudeva,
At that time,
at that time we
exceedingly
extremely
overpowered,
overpowered by feelings of happiness. Every part of my body became
separate,
separately
and
being
absorbed.
absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy. I could not see both myself and the Lord. Purport by Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Spiritual feelings of happiness and intense ecstasies have no mundane comparison. Therefore, it is very difficult to give expression to such feelings. We can just have a glimpse of such ecstasy in the words of Sri Narada Muni. Each and every part of the body or senses has its particular function. After seeing the Lord, all the senses become fully awakened to render service unto the Lord, because in the liberated state, the senses are fully efficient in serving the Lord. As such, in the transcendental ecstasy, it so happened that the senses became separately enlivened to serve the Lord. This being so, Narada Muni lost himself in seeing both himself and the Lord simultaneously. Grandaraj, Srimad. Ready? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Read on.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 18. Rupam Bhagavato Yattan Manakantam Suchapaham Apashyan Sahasotaste Veklavya Dhurmana Iva. Rupam, form. Bhagavata, of the personality of Godhead. Yat, as it is. Tat, that. Mana, of the mind. Kantam, as it desires. Shucha apaham, vanishing all disparity. Apashyan, without seeing. Sahasa, all of a sudden. Uthaste, got up. Veklavyat, being perturbed. Durmana, having lost the desirable, eva, as it were. The transcendental form of the Lord, as it is, satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. That the Lord is not formless is experienced by Narada Muni, but his form is completely different from all forms of our material experience. For the whole duration of our life, we go on seeing different forms in the material world, but none of them is just apt to satisfy the mind, nor can any one of them vanish all perturbance of the mind. These are the special features of the transcendental form of the Lord, and one who has once seen that form is not satisfied with anything else. No form in the material world can any longer satisfy the seer. That the Lord is formless or impersonal means that he has nothing like a material form and is not like any material personality. As spiritual beings having eternal relations with that transcendental form of the Lord, we are life after life searching after that form of the Lord, and we are not satisfied by any other form of material appeasement. Narad Muni got a glimpse of this, but having not seen it again, he became perturbed and stood up all of a sudden to search it out. What we desire life after life was obtained by Narad Muni, and losing sight of him again was certainly a great shock for him.
Gantaraj. But past 7:15. But we can wait. No, he's ready. He's ready. Gantaraj. Ganta. Okay. Dikra, text 19. Canto 1, chapter 6. Didikas Digdikchush tad aham bhuyaha pranedaya manohidi vikshamano api napashyam avitrapra avitrapa avitrapta eva tura.
Didrakshu, desiring to see. Tat, that aham, I. Bhuya, again. Pranidaya, having concentrated the mind. Mana, mind. Hridi, upon the heart. Vikshamana, waiting to see. Api, in spite of. Na, never. Apashyam, saw him. Avitrupta, without being satisfied. Iva, like. Atura, aggrieved.
Translation. I desire to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore, and thus dissatisfied I was very much aggrieved. Purported by His Divine Graces, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There is no mechanical process to see me from the Lord, see the form of the Lord. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise whenever we like. The sun rises out on its own accord. So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of His causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging his prescribed duty in devotional service of the Lord. Narada Muni thought that the Lord could be seen again by the same mechanical process which was successful in the first attempt. But in spite of his utmost endeavor, he could not make the second attempt successful. The Lord is completely independent of all obligations. He simply be bound up by the tie of unalloyed devotion, nor is He invisible or perceivable by our material senses. When He pleases being satisfied with the sincere attempt of our devotional service depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, then He may be seen out of His own accord. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Yeah, we read up to Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 19. We will continue reading tomorrow. Hare Krishna.